Income tax officials searched the BBC's Delhi and Mumbai offices on Tuesday and seized phones and laptops weeks after a massive controversy after the UK national broadcaster's documentary on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the deadly sectarian riots in Gujarat in 2002. The taxman sealed off the office for a survey linked to alleged diversion of profits and irregularities in the transfer of pricing involving the BBC. The survey will continue today after the officials searched all night at the offices. Sources say the income tax authorities are checking account details dating back as far as 2012. Now, in a press statement, the BBC said that they're fully cooperating and we hope to have the situation resolved as soon as possible, is what the BBC has tweeted on the surveys. And also the broadcaster body, however, has put out a statement condemning the income tax survey on the BBC offices. Well, let's go across to Vedant for more. And Vedant, tell us what's happening right now.
Well, Gargi, I come to you from the Hindustan Times building on the 5th floor of which is the BBC office. And what we're being told is that the income tax survey continued overnight and it's been over 20 hours and the income tax officials are still at the BBC office. And we're being told by sources that the income tax survey will continue today as well. In fact, the latest that we're getting is that not just today but tomorrow as well, the income tax survey is likely to continue. Now, what exactly happened? What we've been told by sources is that a couple of staff members of the BBC were allowed to go and their devices were returned and their devices were scanned. A couple of their desktops and laptops and mobile phones, they were asked to initially put their mobile phones in a box, and after that their laptops and desktops were scanned. Now, they used the keyword tax to actually find details about what they call prima facie tax evasion. Now, remember, yesterday we were also told that there was, we in fact saw that video of a scuffle between BBC journalists and income tax officials who went here, and they came to the office, to the BBC office at 11:30 a.m. yesterday. So it's been over 20 hours and the survey still continues. Now, the BBC has told all the staff members who are working from home to stay away, to not come, and the staff members who were there yesterday are instructed to come today as well. Now, that is significant because the questioning, we are told, will continue today as well. In fact, yesterday what we are being told by sources is that not just their laptops and desktops were scanned, but at the same time questions were also raised to journalists as far as information that was received from their devices. So that is also significant. Now, remember what the income tax department has said in an official statement is that the key focus of this survey is to get information from account books as far as tax evasion in lay terms is concerned. What they have said is that their focus is to sort of gauge tax evasion, at the same time unauthorized benefits and irregularities in transfer pricing. That is what they have said. The income tax department also said that multiple notices were issued to the BBC and that the BBC has defaulted multiple times and diverted profits. So that is what the income tax department has said. Now, the BBC so far has not commented on these allegations because the IT surveys are still underway. What they have said is that they're fully cooperating as far as this survey is concerned. Now, the political fallout of these IT surveys on BBC, that is also significant. Yesterday, of course, we saw that the BJP, in fact, really hit out at the BBC, saying that it's a corrupt organization and that organizations are allowed to function in India, but no organization is above law. The opposition, meanwhile, of course, pointed out at the timing of this IT survey, saying that this comes just a few weeks after that controversy over the BBC documentary, that controversial BBC documentary series on Prime Minister Modi and the Gujarat riots. So the opposition has linked the IT survey to that particular documentary. Now, Now, the UK government sources have told us that they are also closely watching the IT survey on BBC. That is also significant. Rishi Sunak is yet to say anything as far as that this IT survey is concerned, and his response is being globally watched as well. But what is significant is that the British government says that they are closely watching the IT surveys here. The situation on the ground is that the IT survey continued overnight, and 20 hours and counting, still the income tax officials are inside the BBC office here in the national capital.
All right. Thanks, Vedant, for joining us. With that, let's take a look at this report on all the developments that took place yesterday as the IT officials arrived at the British Broadcasting Corporation.
इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट
आईटी डिपार्टमेंट से
चलो आप लोग फोन रखो
अरे आराम से तो बात करो यार
फोन गेट खुलवा रहे हैं आप 10 मिनट से गेट कौन खुलवा रहे हैं आप लोग
ऐसे बिना वारंट के गेट खोलेंगे
वारंट आपको पता है वारंट सील हो चुका है देखा हुआ वारंट तब एंटर किया आप लोग
आराम से तो बात करो
An argument between BBC employees and income tax officials as the IT department carried out what it insisted was a survey at BBC offices in New Delhi and Mumbai, weeks after the British public broadcaster aired a documentary critical of Prime Minister Modi over the 2002 Gujarat riots when Mr. Modi was the chief minister of that state.
The BBC's offices are located on the 5th and 6th floor of this building, and the focus after this early morning visit from the income tax authorities has been to quiz them on the issue of non-compliance on transfer pricing issues as well as sharing of profits.
In a statement, tax officials said the survey was over non-compliance of transfer pricing rules and that any seized phones or laptops would be returned. The IT department said, and I quote, "In the case of BBC, there has been persistent non-compliance with the above-mentioned rules for years. As a result of the same, several notices have been issued to the BBC. However, the BBC has been continuously defiant and non-compliant and has significantly diverted their profits." The BBC put out this social media statement saying they hope to resolve the situation soon. Sources said the BBC also sent a memo to staff asking those not in office to stay away and those at work to not panic, reportedly saying, "We are handling the situation."
भारत के कानून को मानना होगा, उसका पालन
The
करना
ruling
होगा।
BJP ripped into the BBC for what it called venomous, shallow and agenda-driven reporting.
अगर कुछ गलत किया नहीं है, कानून का पालन किया है, तो फिर डर कैसा, फिर चिंता कैसी? ये कहना आज गलत नहीं होगा। बीबीसी के अगर कृत्य देखें, जिसके उदाहरण मैं आपके समक्ष अभी पेश करूंगा, तो ये पूरे विश्व की सबसे भ्रष्ट बकवास कॉर्पोरेशन हो गई है।
The opposition accused the government of targeting the BBC for being critical of the Prime Minister. In this tweet, Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav said, "The Modi government stood for fear and oppression." Many other opposition leaders also called the IT survey vindictive.
विश्व में पहली बार बीबीसी के 100 साल के इतिहास में उन पर इस प्रकार की कोई छापामारी और रेड हुई है। और उनका कसूर क्या था? उन्होंने एक गुजरात के दंगों की डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाई थी।
Last week, the Supreme Court rejected a request for a complete ban on the BBC in India over the Gujarat riots documentary, calling the petition entirely misconceived.
इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट
आईटी डिपार्टमेंट से
चलो आप लोग फोन रखो
With Sohit Mishra, Sunil Prabhu and Mukesh Sengar, Alok Pandey, NDTV.